Hello students, welcome to the next class of economics. We are doing the book Indian Economic Development of class 12, and in this book we are on the chapter rural development. So in this chapter we have discussed about the rural development, problems faced by the people or by the government in the development of the rural areas, what is required we have discussed, and the next topic is the credit needs of the rural people. And before that we have discussed about the rural credit, what is rural credit and why people need the credit in the village areas. So basically they are having some uh, there are some needs of those village people or farmers or laborers. Usually they are living in the villages, so they need money, they need credit, they need loans for purposes such as they require loan or credit for agriculture, and they also require the credit for some other needs such as family expenses, like marriages are there, sometimes death is there, then sometimes some other ceremonies, festival ceremonies are there, marriage is there, and cremation is there, so they require the credit. As we know कि at the time of harvest in the village, the farmers or the village people are having the money or amount. Rest of the year for their needs they are looking for the different sources of credit to complete their needs. Okay, so as for their credit needs, so we can divide those needs of people of rural areas in two parts. The first one is your according to the time, and second is according to purpose. So village people takes credit as per the time and as per the purpose. First heading is your according to time. When they take credit, so according to time, credit needs of the farmers can be discussed as short term credit needs, medium term credit needs, and the long term credit needs. Okay, so on your screens these are given. Short term credit need, what are these needs? So it is credit required to meet short term needs. So what are the short term needs of the farmer? Basically the agricultural needs for buying seeds, tools, manure, fertilizers. And what is the time period? The period of this loan ranges between 6 months to 15 months. So suppose the question is coming in your examination, what do you understand by the short term credit? So you can easily write, it is the credit required to meet short term needs of the farmers. They require it for completing their needs of seeds, tools, manure, fertilizer, etc. And the tenure period or timing to repay of these loans are between 6 months to 15 months. Okay, now the next is medium term credit. Okay, what is medium term credit? It is credit required to meet medium term needs. What is medium term credit? Medium term needs. And what are these needs? Like whenever those villagers, those farmers needed machinery, equipments, digging wells, and other construction works, they require the more credit, and this is known as the medium term needs of the farmers. The period of this loans ranges from 15 months to 5 years. So this is your medium term credit, and the next is long term credit. So it is credit required to meet long term needs. So what are those needs of long term? So it is required to buy assets like tractor, land, heavy machine and equipment, and the repayment time period, the period of loan ranges between 5 years to 20 years when they take loan for a long period of time or long term credit. And why they are taking these loans? To fulfill their needs of assets such as tractors, land, heavy machines and equipments. So now we know, as per the time, they look for three types of loans or credit. The farmers or villagers having three type of credit needs. First is short term, second is medium term, and third is long term. If we'll talk about the purpose, they also need credit due to according to the purpose. So it can be divided in the two major categories. The first is the productive purpose and second is unproductive purpose. What is productive purpose? It is credit required to meet productive purpose. In other words, this credit is required to enhance agricultural production, or that means कि this is productive. It is required to buy seeds, machines, fertilizer, constructing cattle sheds, undertaking permanent land improvements, etc. So these are the productive purpose expenditure or requirement of credit by the farmers. The second category is your unproductive purpose, like they require credit but they are not going to get the revert of that, like they are not investing that. So what can be those expenditure? So it is credit required to meet unproductive purpose, such as, in other words, this credit is required to meet social obligations which are other than the agricultural productivity. So it is required to meet expenditure on the personal front, such as religious ceremonies, marriages, to pay back old debts, etc. So if they are doing expenditure on the marriages, so this is not productive, like they are not going to get any return of that. If they are paying old debts, there is no connection of current productivity or current output of that. And if you are doing expenditure on some religious occasions such as some festivals, so there is only expenditure, not any investment part or income part. So these all expenditures are, or requirement of credit are, the unproductive purposes of the people living in rural areas. Now very important is, as we have discussed earlier also, what is rural development. Now here the question is arising, as people in the rural areas or villages require credit, so what are the source of rural credit, from where they get the credit, how they are completing their needs of credit. If they require money, so who is providing them these loans or credit? So let's see. At the time of independence, money lenders and traders exploited small and marginal farmers and landless laborers by lending money to them on high interest rates and manipulating the accounts to keep them in a debt trap. So I think that is very common. Like we have seen the movie Mother India, and there was a accountant, we can say, in right nowadays, like Lala hota tha. Sukhi Lala was the name of that person, and even the father has taken loan, and his the person's wife and kids continuously paying the debts from the last more than 20 years, but still they were in the debts. So like they were manipulating the accounts. The major reason was that shown in that movie कि they were illiterate, but somehow the loans interest rate is very high, so that they are not able to pay back their payments or repay their loans. As now we know that in India, earlier what was the scenario? We were doing the subsistence farming. We were doing only that much of production, so we can feed our stomach. Not we are not doing any commercial. We don't have any commercial approach, so we can do the production of more crop for market purpose also. So that was not in our approach, and we were using the old methods. We were using the traditional approaches. We were orthodox in many type of things, like we were thinking earlier, will not use the machines or tractors in our land. It is our, like the land is like our mother, so will not use machines over it. So that was like many challenges were there, but somehow in recent decades we have improved in the field of the agriculture, or we have started producing more. Here the discussion is over कि from where the people get loan or credit. So we have discussed here, before independence or at the time of independence, people were getting loans from money lenders and traders, or from very big farmers or zamindars, we can say, and the rate of interest was very high. And even those like those people, those were the dominated people, and they were manipulating the accounts. So a major change occurred after the independence, that when India adopted social banking and multi-agency approach to adequately mechanize the system of the rural credit. So what India achieved in this, what India did in this approach and in this system of social banking, we'll discuss in detail in our next session. And what was the changes, like there were two types of institutions for the credit for the rural people. Basically the old ones, to whom we can say the non-institutional sources, and the other are the institutional sources. Institutional matlab which have some guidelines, which have some rules and regulations, which are having some controllings from the government, and people are secure over there. So those are the institutional sources. Basically banks, NGOs, and many like rural banks are there, many financial institutions are there. Like we heard the name of the Jana Small Finance Limited, we have heard the name of the Muthoot Finance Limited, we have heard the name of the Utkarsh Small Finance Limited, we have heard the name of the HSBL Finance Limited. So these there were many financial units which were providing the assistance to the local level or the village level. And non-institutional means the family, the friends, the money lenders, the big farmers. So these were the source of the non-institutional sources. So we'll discuss in detail about the sources of rural credit in the next session. Till then, complete your work and do reading as much as you can do reading of the chapters. Okay, see you in next class.